Hi guys, so we're going to be solving two-step equations. Okay, so before we go right into solving a two-step equation, we're going to review some vocabulary. So here is an expression. In this expression, we have our variable, okay? We have the number that is with the variable. Sometimes that looks like the 8 that we have in this problem. This is called the coefficient. However, sometimes the number with the variable might be in the bottom to make it look like a fraction. However, that is the number that is with the variable. We also have this 5, which is our constant. This is going to be very, very important that you know these words. We are going to use them over and over and over again. So the 5 is the constant, or any number that is by itself is the constant. So here's our first problem. Okay, it says 2n plus 5 equals 13. So in order to solve this equation, we're going to use inverse operations like we have. So I'm going to start by drawing my lines. Again, you don't have to do that, but just for those people that need it. So doing the inverse of the constant, we said that the constant was the number that is without the variable. It's the number that's by itself. So notice the 2 is with the variable. This 5 is the number that is by itself. This 5 is the constant. So we're going to do the inverse operation. So I'm going to show subtracting 5. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So on this left side, I'm not just left with my variable term. I'm left with the 2n. I'm going to bring the entire thing down. Before, with our one-step equations, we only had to do one inverse operation. Now that these are two-step equations, we're going to be doing two inverse operations. So on this right side, I'm going to finish the problem, 13 minus 5, which is 8. Now at this point, again, remember our goal is to isolate the variable. Looking at this, is this variable isolated? Is it by itself? No, it has a 2 with it. So again, we have to do the inverse operation. These are mushed together. So the inverse of mush multiplication would be division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. These 2's cancel out. Do it on my right side. Now my variable is officially isolated. It's by itself. And now 8 divided by 2 is 4. So let's try another example. This one looks slightly different. It says y divided by 4 minus 15 is equal to 7. So I'm going to draw my lines. Again, the first thing I want to identify is my constant. In this problem, my constant is negative 15 or minus 15 because that is by itself. That is not with the variable. The 4 is with the variable, so that is, I'm not doing anything with that just yet. So the inverse of subtracting 15 or negative 15 would be to add 15 or positive 15. The 15's cancel each other out. I'm now left with y divided by 4 equals, and 7 plus 15 is 22. Now when I look at my variable, it's not isolated. I have to keep going. What's the inverse of dividing by 4? Yes, multiplying by 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. On the left side, the 4's cancel out. My y is isolated. And 22 times 4 is 88. And again, you can go back in to check your work to see if this really does work. So I'm going to go substitute 88 in for the y. 88 divided by 4. 88 divided by 4 is 22. And 22 minus 15 is 7. So I just checked my work and I saw that I ended with a 7 once I plugged it in, and that's what my equation shows that I needed to solve for was 7. So I hope that you understood what I just went over, and the big idea here, the major concept that we want to get out of this is that when you are solving a two-step equation, you do the inverse operation of the blank first. Hopefully you can fill in that blank without me, but I will help you to remember, so that way you have it for your notes. When you are solving a two-step equation, you do the inverse operation of the constant first, and again, the constant is the number by itself. All right, guys, hope you're ready for class tomorrow. Have a good night.